Hi guys, happy Wellness Wednesday, everybody. Today I'm talking with the California alum, Anthony Trucks, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what he does and any tips or suggestions on how to stay healthy during this time. So Anthony, over to you.
Hey, thank you. My name's Anthony Trucks. I'm a former U of O athlete, and I'm also a graduated 2006. And at this point in my life, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, and author. I travel the world and talk about a whole lot of cool things in life. Primarily, my realm of expertise is identity, and how do you really look at upgrading how you operate so you can reach your full potential in life. Whether it's life, you focus on professional aspects, you want to focus on health aspects, relation aspects, whatever it may be. It's kind of the realm I weave in, because here's the truth. We all have this desire to accomplish something at a higher level. And in a sense, that the thing that I look at is, how do we get to the higher level? What does it look like for us? What's stopping us from getting there? And so today I want to talk about one of the big key things that really ends up being a useful tool for all of us, which is resiliency. Now, we've all heard the word. We know what it means. We know what the kind of concept is. And a lot of the times that we face it, we're not quite, I don't think in the moment, aware that it's a moment we need to be resilient. And sometimes that hindsight kicks in and we look at ourselves and say, man, I could have done more. I should have stayed the course. And what's interesting is our dynamic time we're in now, everything is being pressed upon us. And a lot of people are being forced to be resilient and completely unaware of it. And so what happens is we have a lot more regretful hindsight's 2020 kind of moments. We're like, oh, 2020, hey, play on words there. No pun intended, but it works. But the idea was look at the aspect of, like, how do we have, more present conscious awareness of being resilient in the moments we need to be. We've got, right in this moment in time now, we've got a lot of, forest fires going on the West Coast. I'm in California, a town called Walnut Creek. So we're dealing with it literally in the midst of it, ash on my car, all that craziness. At the same time, we're being cooped up inside of our houses. We're not built for that. Humanity is not built to be out of connection with other humans. We're supposed to be in relation. We're built to connect, to talk, to share. And so a lot of people are feeling like that kind of compressed, closed in feeling. And we're being forced to have to be resilient. And what I believe is there's a lot of ways you can navigate that, and some actionable, tactical ways you can do it. So I've spent a lot of years of my life studying psychology and neuroscience and just human behavior to see how we operate. In the world that I work, identity is this thing that's very, very unique and special to me. I was given away at 3 years old in the foster care. I was actually brought into a household at 6 years old after 5 different houses of abuse and just different crazy things, where I was the only Black person in an all-white family, very poor, didn't have much growing up. So for the next 8 years, I was in that family. At 14, I was finally adopted and started a journey that led me through a lot of ups and downs to eventually get a chance to play college football at the University of Oregon. Had my first son in Oregon with my high school sweetheart. So I had all these different identity aspects that were always competing within me. I'm this kid that's a foster kid, then I'm the, non-diverse kid. We'll call it in the non-diverse community, the only Black kid. I'm the athlete. I'm the father. I found my real dad. So I have my real dad and my adopted foster dad. Like, I had these weird identities battling at all times. And then was blessed to play in the NFL with the Bucks, Redskins, and the Steelers, Washington football team now. And after that, NFL stands for not for long, tore my shoulder, came home, and now I have this massive identity crisis. Who am I without this thing that made me me for 12 years? And I leaned into some things in the wrong way that broke my life, essentially. I'd married my high school sweetheart. We'd had 2 more kids. And at this time, like, I was solely focused on trying to be me. I didn't have great resiliency. Of all people, former NFL athlete, like, you think I'm resilient. I didn't know how to battle through life, we'll call it that time, because I was met with situations that weren't things I'd experienced prior to. And so in these moments, now I'm done with this kind of situation of like, man, how do I navigate these hard times, and how do I become resilient? And I, in the beginning, wasn't. It was in 2014, my mom passed away from MS. My adoptive mom did, after a 17-year battle, that I kind of was forced with the aspect that we're all forced with at times, which is I'm in the middle of a hard place and I have 2 choices. One choice is I can sink deeper and deeper into these moments and try to make excuses to feel bad, but know I'm going to wake up one day feeling farther behind the ball than I could ever climb out of. Or 2, I get on the horse and start trying to find a way to ride out of here, even when I don't feel like doing it. This is how it is. We typically don't feel like doing what needs to be done in the moment that it needs to be done. And so what ends up happening is I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to do the latter. I'm going to find a way out of this. And I dug and I dug and I dug. I cleaned up the crap inside me that a lot of us don't sometimes want to clean up. And we all got that kind of stuff inside. I just be honest. There's always some things that we need to do. But here's the thing. That area, that issue is why we're not able to reach our full potential and have success in a place we want. The truth is, like, if you don't understand who you are and clearly understand who you need to be, you will always fall short of your goal no matter how hard you work, because you'll be doing the wrong work. So I ended up figuring this stuff out. This is about maybe five years ago now. I had to figure out how to be better as a human, and how to kind of dig into the identity the identities were always kind of competing inside, and kind of solidify, who am I? Who do I need to be to battle through these moments in time, to be more resilient, to create a better life? And I did. I have since remarried my high school sweetheart. We have 3 children. My life is great. I have a great business. I get a chance to travel the world and speak and talk to people. I've solved a lot of problems in my life that I can help other people solve. And I'm going to give you today a couple really, really simple aspects of what you can do to be able to navigate these hardships, so that you can have resiliency when you need it. Like, actually call on it when you are sitting in a moment of understanding what to do and how to stand back up when, like, you do not feel like standing back up. And here's the simplest way that I can teach you to do this. It's one exercise. There's a lot of different exercises. Here is one that has been tried and true and works for me in so many different areas of life. Step one, you give yourself 7 seconds. I call this a 7-second rule. Literally, it's a 7-second rule. The 7-second rule is this: things happen in life. I don't want them to happen, and it sucks right now, but I've got to master this moment. I tell people, mastering moments moves mountains. I got to master this moment. And I give myself 7 seconds to stew on this situation, to feel bad, to just internally feel like I suck and feel crappy and feel horrible. And just, I'll give myself 7 seconds. And then at the end of 7 seconds, what I do is I step back and I go, all right, I got to make a choice. I got to go find something. Here's the 2 things you will choose to find. You will choose to find either a solution or an excuse. And I promise you, whatever you go looking for, you are going to find. If you go looking for an excuse to stay in this space and not be resilient, you will always find it. They're easy. They're laying around. I'm tired. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. It just sucks too much. I don't have the resources. I'm stuck in the first place. How can I get out of here? I'm not good enough. Or you can say, I'm going to seek to find a solution before I find an excuse. Ton of power in this, because now what happens is you tune your brain to find ways out of this hole. And this is the simple 4 steps that I'm telling you, you got to apply to make this work. 1, sit down. Like, literally sit down. Sometimes we get so stirred up and we have anxiety and we're in emotion, we just start doing things, and then we get tired and we don't get any farther ahead. So sit your butt down, breathe. Then what I want you to do is pretty much organize everything that you have that's on your plate or frustrating you. What I mean by that is, like, what problems do I have? Which ones must be approached first? How will I approach them? Organize it. Like, literally organize them into a plan that I will take action on. What does this place look like that I would have to take step by step to move myself in the right direction? Third, execute on this plan. Action ends suffering. I don't care who you are, what you got going on. If you were in a funky place, if you don't take an action, you'll stay in that funky place. So essentially, the longer you stay in that place, the longer you stay in that place. So take an action based off this plan and just keep moving. The idea is you don't have to, if you think about like video games, there's always like that energy bar of the monster you're fighting. You don't need to have one single hit that kills the monster. It's a bunch of little hits that over time just take out a little more energy and a little more energy from this beast. And that's how you approach it. You don't think about all the hits you're taking, but you just take one single step based on a plan you created, breathing, and then you start taking away. And here's what's cool. It's kind of like folding laundry. You got a pile of laundry. Every single shirt you fold, the pile gets smaller and everything gets more organized. And so what you do is just kind of fold the laundry of your tasks in life. And what you'll find, the action actually gives you a different perspective of where your focus goes. And where your focus goes, your energy flows. So your energy goes to a more positive place, a little more joyous, less issues to deal with, less problems. And then here's a 4-step. Plan the repeat. You got where you're at in that moment. Maybe you're there now. You got where you're at because you essentially just were winging it in life. You didn't have a plan. There was no, just you were rolling. So as opposed to waiting till this anxiety overwhelms you again and you get maximized, I highly recommend you sit down and say, when will I plan to do this again? Because the next time you do it, you'll have less laundry, we'll call it. But if you do it every week or every 2 weeks, you never have to worry about falling back into that funky place when a bad moment takes place or something rears its head. Because the truth is, it's not usually one individual moment. I mean, there are somebody passing away, losing a relationship. There are some moments where they do take you out. But typically, it ends up being like a compounding effect from multiple situations because you didn't deal with any of them in time. You procrastinated. You let things kind of fester. So if you let certain things kind of go away periodically and they don't kind of pile up, you don't get that same moment of overwhelm and feeling like you have to call on your resiliency. So in fact, what happens, resiliency becomes a daily action or a weekly action or bi-weekly action. And you don't run into those same headaches. So I hope this helps you, because I realize that at the end of the day, sometimes we need just these individual thoughts, exercises, nuggets of information that'll move the needle forward for our life. And for me, these are the things that I personally do to allow me to achieve the things I've done. After college, after the NFL, I actually, been on TV as American Ninja Warrior on NBC, and I've fixed my marriage. Obviously, I've got a whole lot of cool things I do in the world and businesses I run, all these things, and I am consistently bombarded with things that stress me out, but I never let them stack up. And because of that, I can navigate and do so much more, so I can truly reach my full potential, so I can help others do the same. So that's it. My name's Anthony Trucks. Go Ducks. The best way to connect with me is to go to anthonytrucks.com, just how it sounds, ANTHONYTRUCKS. You can go to @AnthonyTrucks on Instagram, and our company email is contact@anthonytrucks.com.